was never my intention to make a goal of bringing integrity to the federal finances as an important part of my life's work and mission. At first, I was simply doing the job I was asked to as Assistant Secretary of Housing in the first Bush administration. And then I was trying to do my job as a federal contractor, again asked to be lead financial advisor for the Federal Housing Administration. And even after that, I kept coming back to the fact that most of our problems led back to a secretive governance system, and that governance system could do all the various shenanigans it was doing because it could finance them in a financial operation that could operate both secretly and outside the law, and create a system where the insiders have a 0% cost of capital and the rest of us have a 30% cost of capital. It's remarkable how much of the system is engineered with that differential of cost of capital that's hidden behind this wall of secrecy. So, whether it was protecting taxpayers' money as part of serving as a government official or a government financial advisor, or as an investment advisor trying to help clients either clean up from the damage done to them by financial fraud, which one way or another always related back to the corruption in the federal government accounts, whether it was immediate or 1 or 2 degrees of separation, or trying to protect clients from ongoing corruption and fraud, or as a publisher trying to communicate the same information to help protect my subscribers, reader, and audience. I found myself consistently coming back to the fact that the crime that pays is crime that stays. And no crime is more profitable than crime engineered with free money from the U.S. monetary and fiscal authorities. It's quite a remarkable system that the insiders have put together. As a financial engineering feat, I tip my hat to them. It's quite remarkable, and quite remarkable that they can keep it secret. Most Americans don't see the game, don't understand it, and don't understand why the missing money issue is at the heart of their issue. I once had a relative who used to say, "Dear, the missing money is your issue. It's not my issue. My issue is peace." They were a Quaker. And I used to say, "Don't you understand? If I can steal $21 trillion, then I control everything, including whether or not there's peace or war." But they didn't connect the dots. Maybe now. As I continued to focus attention on the missing money throughout this 30-year period, I had a special challenge, and that is I have establishment credentials. That puts me in line for much more significant opposition, and not only more significant opposition, but significant opposition which is very invisibly delivered. And the system is willing to make a significant investment in keeping it coming and keeping it very subtle and invisible. The challenge in making me not credible is the establishment itself has established my credibility. If I'm not credible, then why was I promoted to Vice President Dylan Reed? Why was I promoted to Senior Vice President Dylan Reed, then Managing Director, then a partner and equity owner and member of the Board of Directors of what was at the time one of the most important investment banks in the United States, and also run and at various times owned by, what later became two Secretary of Treasuries. So if you look at the fellow who promoted me to partner, he was also the fellow who became Secretary of Treasury. So if I'm not credible, how did that happen? If I'm not credible, why was I appointed to Assistant Secretary of Housing, Federal Housing Commissioner? Why was I nominated by the President, approved by the Senate after a complete FBI investigation? So how did I pass a complete FBI investigation if I'm not credible? I was appointed by the president after I left serving as assistant secretary to the board of Sallie Mae, which is the student loan organization. I was appointed after that by the chairman of the SEC to one of his task forces. I was appointed after that to the executive committee of one of the top real estate associations in the country, and on and on and on. If you look at my full resume at Solari.com, it's full of many, many memberships, and including board memberships of many of the largest or most prominent institutions in the country. So the reality is, if I'm not credible, then how in the world did all of those things happen? Now, those who know me know I love the Scott brothers, Ridley Scott and Tony Scott, they do a remarkable job of making great movies about deep state tactics. One of them is Gladiator, and in the movie, one of the gladiators is explaining to the protagonist, played by Russell Crowe, that before the emperor of Rome can destroy him, before he can kill him, he has to kill his name, which is true in politics. If you just run around killing people, obviously people get bent out of shape. Before he can kill you, he has to kill your name. And that's certainly one of the tactics that I have experienced for a very long time, which was an extraordinary, what is now almost, I guess, a more than a 25-year effort to destroy my name. And it's living through that is very informative about deep state tactics and the importance of brand.